Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Arman Ahmad. Recently, the possibility of TikTok ban came as a surprise gift to us. From the initial ban issued by the Indian government, spreading to the US government, and the shadow cabinet of Japan, the possibility of a global TikTok ban has increased rapidly in a very short period of time. Some say that now TikTok has to do business in China only. But, surprise, TikTok is not available in China. China was in fact the first country to ban it, and the date was 2018. Much earlier than the US. TikTok ban in China is called region lock. It makes anyone in the world could be a TikTok user, excluding Chinese. TikTok server will detect the IP address, the system language, and the SIM card of a mobile phone. As long as any of these items get related to China, TikTok will simply refuse to start. So no Chinese can use TikTok app. It's quite rare to be as strict as TikTok has decided to be, since even most unfriendly products to China only refuse users based on their IP address, which can be cheated by the internet proxy. But don't misunderstand that TikTok deliberately created a social media which doesn't get impacted by China. Instead, their approach was exactly meant to comply with China policies. China has a complete set of censorship rules to regulate the content creators and publishing platforms. In order to fundamentally avoid the cumbersome censorship, TikTok adopted the most stringent detection methods for Chinese users, thus achieving the most thorough compliance with China policies, therefore eliminating all possible violations of said policies. The so-called region lock may be unfamiliar to most people, but it's a very common practice in China. For example, in 2018, PUBG also initiated a lock for China, so Chinese players can only match each other. This approach may be perceived by some as unfriendly to Chinese users, but PUBG's reason for lockout is that too many Chinese players use plug-in cheating software which makes global players suffer. It's difficult to manage, so locking out all players in China is a simpler solution and can prevent the spread of plugins. This phenomenon is common in the game industry, such as CSGO and even the Steam platform itself. Given this previous success, TikTok has adopted the game industry's region lock idea. Considering this, it seems the company has a relatively high negative opinion on the China market. After weighing the two aspects of censorship policy and user positioning, TikTok made the decision to totally ban Chinese users to avoid these types of problems. That's also how TikTok app get banned in China. Their company banned themselves to survive. TikTok's plan was probably to find a vacancy in the United States, where social media advertising is highly developed, or in India, which has a large population, or even in Japan and South Korea, which also has high market possibilities, and develop a more exclusive clone version for the China market, which name is Douyin. Ultimately, they want to win as many markets as possible. But in fact, products specifically for the global market other than China can now be regarded as a complete failure. India, as a country with the largest user population, has strictly prohibited TikTok. The United States seems soon to follow. I'm wondering whether there will be similar action in Japan and South Korea. At the end of the video, I'll leave you with two interesting comparisons to consider. Firstly, TikTok's company has another application released for China, known as Metaphor Jokes, but it was suddenly completely banned by China in April 2018. At that time, TikTok's parent company responded by apologizing and admitting their fault, assuming all responsibilities, and claiming to accept everything. After TikTok ban was announced by the US government, the aforementioned parent company accused the US government for unconstitutionality and non-compliance with the spirit of internet freedom, and claimed their right to use legal weapons to defend their rights. Secondly, WeChat, a Chinese clone version of Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp used for daily communication for people in China and for broadcasting articles, was also under consideration by the US government's ban. It was actually banned by the Russian government in 2017. When WeChat ban occurred in Russia, the Chinese media commented that Russia's behavior was very reasonable, because in the information age, when foreigners company get a large amount of data related to a given country, including the basic data of most citizens, they have the ability to dissect the country and threat national security. The greater the amount of data, the more useful for international intelligence. So Russia's ban on WeChat proved to be very reasonable behavior by the Chinese media. WeChat is now going to be banned by the US government, triggering widespread condemnation from many Chinese, claiming that it's a suppression and unfair treatment of Chinese companies by the US. What an interesting comparison. It's definitely something to think about. That's all for today. Thanks for watching and see you next episode.